Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman align. Triple H urged to immediately take undisputed WWE title off Cody Rhodes. WWE talent to work major shows without additional pay. Triple H's leadership is driven by social media validation. The WWE fired Ridge Holland to send a message to other stars. Liv Morgan makes a rare public appearance. Maxine Dupree breaks character and reveals a secret about Chad Gable. Bianca Belair returns. The Rock is a level higher than John Cena and Randy Orton. Paul Heyman crowns a new tribal chief. Let's dive right in. Triple H urged to immediately take undisputed WWE title off Cody Rhodes. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H has been told to end Cody Rhodes' reign as the undisputed champion and immediately crown a 40-year-old star as the new champion. Conan has urged the company to reward Drew McIntyre for his work. The Scottish Warrior losing in title matches has become a running joke at this point, with hardly anyone even buying into the prospect of him defeating Cody at SNME 2025. And as expected, McIntyre fell short at the PLE, which has not just angered his fans but the star himself, going by his recent social media activity. Amid this, Conan has voiced his frustration about WWE time, and again having Drew McIntyre lose on his K100 podcast. He stated that the 40-year-old star was more than capable of carrying the weight of the company, and added that he was a perfect all-rounder, who backed up his cocky attitude with his in-ring work. I agree they should put the title on Drew McIntyre. Enough already, as Disco Inferno would say. Already in shape, looks like a star. Thank God they got rid of that cheesy sword that you knew he would never use, and it was named after his mother. Something like that. Come on, dude. He can talk. He works social media perfectly. Bro, he's all around perfect. Give him the title. Let's see what happens. Following Saturday night's main event 2025, several social media users began speculating that McIntyre might now be beyond frustrated with his booking in WWE and could be on his way out of the company. However, these rumors were soon quashed by a report by Fightful Select, which made it clear that Drew McIntyre was nowhere close to leaving the Stamford-based promotion. The report noted that his contract with the company ran until around WrestleMania in 2028. Considering there's a lot of time left on his deal, Triple H and his team still have plenty time to do damage control and book McIntyre in the way that's worthy of his stature and talents. WWE decided to take a dig at the Scottish Warrior by uploading a playlist of McIntyre's mishaps over the year. This didn't make the Scottish psychopath happy, and he responded to his employer. "Read the room," wrote Drew. "The American Nightmare will stand tall over him every time." Now that he had vanquished the Scottish Warrior, Rhodes could be looking to embark on a new road and start afresh. The upcoming episode of SmackDown will emanate from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina, and Cody Rhodes will be in the house tonight. From competing in an impromptu match to getting mercilessly assaulted by a top star, he could be involved in several major things on tonight's episode of The Blue Brand. What's next for Cody Rhodes now? Number 1, open the show with a victory celebration promo. Cody Rhodes could kick off Friday Night SmackDown with his segment tonight, leaving the crowd electrified. He could address the WWE universe about the events that unfolded at Saturday night's main event. Talking about his big win, the American Nightmare could state how Drew McIntyre gave him a tough fight, and he still overcame the odds. The WWE Universe might give him a huge round of applause, cheering for the champion. Rhodes might make a defiant statement that he is done with McIntyre and is looking for a fresh start. The 40-year-old could discuss the future of the undisputed WWE Championship, stating that he is ready to take on anyone who steps up to him next. Number 2, confrontation with a furious Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes could also be involved in a heated segment with Drew McIntyre tonight. Just when he would be addressing the WWE Universe, the Scottish Warrior could come out from backstage, seething in rage. Furious from his defeat, McIntyre could lambaste Rhodes for using underhanded tactics to win at Saturday night's main event. The American Nightmare could respond to those accusations by engaging in a verbal exchange with Drew McIntyre. Things could escalate so much so that Cody Rhodes might end up getting involved in a physical altercation with his rival. Both superstars exchange punches, pounding on each other. As a result, the referees might have to come out to separate the two stars. Number 3, compete in an impromptu tag team match. Survivor Series. War Games is around the corner and things might get interesting tonight. Cody Rhodes' potential segment could be interrupted by top heels like Solo Sikoa and MFT or The Vision. This could lead to a handicapped situation for the American Nightmare, following which Randy Orton could come to his aid to equalize the numbers game. This could eventually lead to an impromptu tag team match in the main event of SmackDown tonight. WWE often puts Rhodes in such matches to lay the foundation for his future storylines and feuds. Therefore, fans can expect the same tonight, which might ultimately lead to something big for Survivor Series. War Games. Number 4, Cody Rhodes may get annihilated by Drew McIntyre. Tonight's episode of SmackDown might turn out to be a nightmare for Cody Rhodes, as he might fall prey to Drew McIntyre's wrath. Fresh off his recent defeat at Saturday night's main event, the Scottish Warrior could be blazing with unbridled fury. He could unleash a merciless attack on the undisputed WWE champion tonight on SmackDown. McIntyre could annihilate Rhodes for what he did at SNME, wreaking absolute havoc on the Blue Brand tonight. The nature of the attack could be so severe that it could sideline the champion from television for a while. The American Nightmare might have to be stretched away from the building following a potential assault by Drew McIntyre. WWE talent to work major major shows without additional pay? WWE has been making some major moves lately. Now, the company's talent will be expected to work major shows without additional pay. WWE feels a lot different under the Triple H regime than it did under Vince McMahon. The company has extended its hand to other promotions for a partnership. They successfully formed a partnership with TNA Wrestling and even acquired a majority stake in AAA. As a result, several WWE stars have been traveling to TNA and AAA shows in addition to their already scheduled dates. However, it looks like they might not get paid for these additional appearances. According to reports from Wrestling Observer Radio, if any talent works for AAA or TNA, then they don't get any additional pay since they are on a guaranteed contract. This is because the company believes that the wrestlers are going to work far fewer dates for the same guaranteed money since they have cut back on shows. If WWE talent works for AAA, which is part of WWE anyway, or if they work for TNA, they don't get paid extra because everybody is on a guaranteed contract. You make this much, they book you as they see fit. It can be for other companies. That's just how it works right now. From their standpoint, based on previous generations and even a year or two ago, the fact is that you are going to be working far less dates for that guaranteed money than you would have been even a year ago because they've cut way back on shows. It is reported that since the sports entertainment juggernaut has cut back on shows, most people will be working fewer dates than they expected to work when they first signed their deal. So because they've cut way back on shows and it's essentially, for most people, one day a week, that they might book you a second day a week, or for a TNA taping, or go to AAA. Whatever the deal is, it's like you're still working a lot less dates than for most people they expected to work when they actually signed the deal in the first place. WWE's product has taken a massive nosedive under Triple H's leadership in recent weeks. The company struggled to sell out the arena for last week's episode of SmackDown. The show even had its lowest viewership of all time. This is due to the lackluster storylines that have been showcased on TV. Therefore, Vince Russo took to social media to call for Triple H to be fired since he isn't qualified enough for the job. If there aren't talks right now within TKO to replace the entire old guard heading WWE creative, then they deserve everything that is coming their way. This is not personal against H. He is just not qualified for the job. I'm not even sure that he understands what a storyline even is with his current comments, he wrote. It will be interesting to see if TKO will consider firing Triple H to improve the product. Triple H's leadership is driven by social media validation. Vince Russo isn't impressed with how Triple H is running WWE, and he made that crystal clear in a blunt takedown comparing the game to Vince McMahon. On a recent podcast appearance, Russo accused Triple H of being too soft on talent and too focused on earning internet approval instead of asserting real leadership. According to Russo, the shift in WWE's culture under Triple H is obvious, starting with what he described as a kindergarten approach to management. He recalled seeing Triple H backstage trying to comfort talent, rather than leading with authority. Everybody respects this guy, but this guy knows, man. Like, when it's time to be the freaking boss, I'm going to be the boss. I saw it my first day. You see Triple H with the hands on the shoulder and rest in the fort. Get the F out of here. What is this? Kindergarten? Russo went even deeper, claiming Triple H avoids confrontation so he can stay on everyone's good side. He pointed to a backstage moment from the Unreal docuseries involving Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. After the two allegedly went off script during a match, Triple H seemed unsure whether it was real or part of the show. Instead of addressing it himself, he reportedly told someone else to handle the fallout. Triple H is sitting there at the gorilla position. Was that scripted? Was that scripted? He didn't even know if that was a shoot or not. Then they come back and smarten him up. Triple H says, well, you go tell Tiffy that she needs to go apologize. No, Trips, you need to go tell Tiffy. Russo says the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon couldn't be clearer. Vince, he argues, never cared about being liked. He cared about control. Bro, if that's Vince McMahon, the headsets are getting thrown on the table, and he's telling the agent, bring Tiffany's ass over here right now. Vince McMahon wasn't worried about being freaking liked. And according to Russo, that need to be liked is what's holding Triple H back. He claims Hunter is too focused on getting praise from the internet wrestling community, something that, in Russo's opinion, doesn't belong in a locker room leader. Triple H, he's got this thing about being liked. I've been told by somebody, a talent at a high level, who told me the love of the freaking internet means everything to Triple H. That's why he brought in Joe Hendry at freaking WrestleMania. That is so important to him. And bro, you cannot be in that spot and want to be liked. In Russo's eyes, Triple H might have the respect, but not the backbone to lead WWE with the same iron grip Vince McMahon once did. And if leadership is about making hard choices, he thinks Triple H is still trying to win a popularity contest. Do you think Vince Russo is right? Has Triple H gone soft as a leader, or is he just evolving WWE for a new generation? The WWE fired Ridge Holland to send a message to other stars. Ridge Holland's WWE career didn't just end quietly, it ended abruptly, and now it looks like that was the point. On the November 6th episode of Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer revealed that WWE's decision to cut Holland a week early, while he's still injured and unable to work, was more about punishment than paperwork. Alvarez read Holland's tweet aloud, the same one that sealed his fate with the company. I feel like I've just been hung out to dry after getting injured working for another company on behalf of WWE. Add to that my contract not being renewed, knowing that I wouldn't be able to wrestle for 7 months is brutal. Yes, they are taking care of the surgery and physical therapy, but let's be honest, that's a bare minimum after what we sacrificed for the company. Plus the possibility of having to get my neck fused too. Talk about getting totally fucked. Meltzer confirmed the fallout was swift, then the next day they called him and fired him. Holland was initially supposed to remain on WWE's payroll through November 14th, but after voicing frustration publicly, WWE used a contract clause to cut him early, losing him a week or two of final pay, and the move wasn't random. They wanted to send a message to everyone out there that if you say anything bad, you know that you can be cut. And that's what happened. Holland's situation had already drawn sympathy. He's recovering from a brutal injury suffered during a TNA appearance on WWE's behalf, and now faces potential neck fusion surgery, a second operation in March, and months of recovery with no income. Meltzer also noted that WWE likely never had long-term plans for Holland after he signed a one-year NXT deal at a 55% pay cut in 2024. They were going to cut him a year ago. They gave him another year, and they probably in reality had already decided he wasn't that over. But the moment Holland spoke up, everything changed. Even if he only lost a week or two of salary, it sent a very clear message about what WWE tolerates. There's really no reason to at least keep him on through the rehab period given that he was injured on your job. With limited options in AEW, an uncertain future in TNA, and an independent scene that's not what it used to be, Meltzer added, he's not someone who is going to necessarily have a lot of options even when this is done. It's a devastating twist in Holland's story, and one that raises serious questions about how WWE treats performers when the cameras stop rolling. What do you think about WWE's decision to cut Ridge Holland early? Liv Morgan makes a rare public appearance. WWE superstar Liv Morgan attended the Stranger Things Season 5 world premiere. The former women's world champion is sidelined from in-ring action after suffering a shoulder injury. Morgan suffered her shoulder injury on the June 16th episode of Monday Night Raw against Kairi Sane. The injury led to Roxanne Perez joining the Judgment Day, as the Prodigy also became Raquel Rodriguez's tag team partner and held the women's tag team championships, which Morgan previously held. Season 5 of Stranger Things will air on Netflix on November 26th. Morgan attended the world premiere for the show amid her absence from in-ring competition and WWE television. Vince Russo previously spoke about Liv Morgan making public appearances for WWE while being on the shelf. The 31-year-old superstar was part of a WrestleMania 43 press conference. Speaking on Brodown, Russo explained why he thinks Triple H hasn't brought her back on TV. He said, "I just think it's fascinating, and I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Liv Morgan can be on that press conference, but she can't be on TV, and then when I tell you that's because the King of Pops is saving her for a pop, you think I have no idea what I'm talking about. I can't comprehend if I was the writer of the show and I literally had stars sitting at home. I can't comprehend that. That tells you flat out they don't know what to do with her. They don't have a plan for her. The fact that they flew her all the way to Saudi, but she can't appear on Raw, okay?" Morgan is expected to get herself involved in Dominic Mysterio and Roxanne Perez's storyline, alongside the rest of the Judgment Day. Maxine Dupree breaks character and reveals a secret about Chad Gable. Maxine Dupree has admitted that there is one injured WWE star she goes to for advice. This star has helped her a great deal in her career. Maxine Dupree spoke about working with Chad Gable recently during her interview with Chris Van Vliet. There, she said she loved working with him and that he was not someone who spoke much, but when he did, she always took it to heart. She complimented him on his ability to focus on the bigger picture when telling a story, and she made her realize that there were multiple angles from which to view things. She admitted that she still went to him for a lot of things, and that when it came to matches, his ability to understand them and more was something she admired. She broke character to speak about Gable, even though in the storyline they are not on friendly terms. Oh my gosh, so much. He's actually someone kind of what I was saying earlier. He's a man of few words. So when he tells me something, I take it to heart because he's someone that can look at something creatively. Just the business, the mind he has for this business, he's just able to zoom out and see everything and give me these pointers that I'm like, duh, why didn't I think of that? But I would never, and he sees it so clearly. So I go to him a lot for things like that because when it comes to matches and just his ability to understand this business truly is out of this world. Whereas before Maxine Dupree was only seen as a star manager, she quickly changed that perspective while part of the American Alpha. After being trained by Chad Gable, she made her in-ring debut and, while still obviously new to the ring, blew people away with just how fast she had learnt. Her chemistry with Otis and Akira Tozawa also helped her further in this situation. It remains to be seen how far she goes, but right now, she is someone who can and has gone toe-to-toe with someone like Becky Lynch in the ring. Bianca Belair returns. Bianca Belair has been gone from WWE for a long time. The star's injury has kept her out of action for quite some time. Now, there's a better idea of when she will return to the ring with a report making the date clearer. As per a report by Body Slam, it seems that there is a belief that Bianca Belair will be returning in the early stages of 2026. The recovery process has been rough, but those in the company believe that she will be able to return by that stage. There is also hope within WWE that there is a return even sooner than expected. It has not yet been confirmed, and should she return in the early stages of 2026, she might well be involved in the WrestleMania event as well. The coming months should make the situation more clear as to when fans may expect her back. Belair last competed at WrestleMania 41. There, she was competing with the title, but things didn't quite go her way. She walked out of the event with an injury that meant that the star would be unable to continue wrestling for a while. The star stepped away from the ring and did not return. It was a finger break, and fans expected that she'd be back quite soon. However, the break turned out to be more complicated than expected. As has been reported in the last few weeks, her knuckle had completely exploded, leading to further issues for the star. Her demeanor after the injury had given the impression that she was going to be fine and back quite soon. There is still no exact date about when she will return. But after the above report, the timeline has become clearer than before. The Rock is a level higher than John Cena and Randy Orton. A former WWE champion has claimed that The Rock is a level above John Cena and Randy Orton. Both Cena and the Viper are widely considered as the modern-day greats of WWE, given their longevity and accomplishments. However, Jinder Mahal believes the Great One remains the best of the best. During an appearance on Click and Tell, the former United States champion recalled his experience of working with the Brahma Bull. Mahal shared the ring with him on the Day 1 special of Raw in January 2024. He said that the energy of the crowd is special when the most electrifying man in sports entertainment is around, and there is no one better than him. To be in the ring with The Rock, just feel the energy of the crowd. There's no one like that in wrestling, at least in my generation. I've seen many times John Cena, Randy Orton, those guys, they're very, very top, but Rock is one level higher. He's one level higher. I really think he's probably the most recognizable person on the planet, he said. The Rock is one of pro wrestling's biggest names, with charisma and mic skills that are a golden standard to this day. Although Orton and the last real champion have excelled in their own right, the 8-time WWE champion is seen as a bigger star by many. John Cena's WWE retirement tour is drawing to a close. With only 4 dates left, speculation is rife as to who will be his final opponent. Many names from Cena's storied WWE career have been brought up, and Hall of Famer Rikishi believes the People's Champion should be Cena's last opponent. Speaking on his Off the Top podcast, Rikishi said, "The Rock facing the champ in his WWE farewell will carry more weight than any other match." Paul Heyman crowns a new tribal chief. WWE legend Paul Heyman recently took to social media to send a message after the latest edition of Monday Night Raw. The Oracle stable was in action on this week's Red Brands show. In the main event of this week's Raw, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed locked horns with CM Punk and Jey Uso in a tag team match. After a hard-hitting battle, their bout ended in a double countout, but they continued to brawl with each other. At one point, Breaker hit Uso with a vicious spear, which left Punk alone. Surprisingly, Logan Paul came out to assure the best in the world that he had his back. However, the Maverick turned on Punk at the last minute and took him out with brass knuckles. Paul then seemingly joined Paul Heyman's side. The Oracle recently took to his Instagram stories to seemingly crown Bronson Reed as the new tribal chief after Roman Reigns. He asked everyone to take a look at the Oscilla's latest tweet and acknowledge him, which he used to say for Reigns during their partnership in the Bloodline. However, it should be noted that he addressed Reed as OTT, the original tribal thief, and not as the OTC. On an edition of his Click This podcast, WWE legend Kevin Nash said that he believes Paul Heyman will eventually turn on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to possibly align with Brock Lesnar once again. I'm not convinced that Paul is with them. I think that Heyman raised their hand because, he's a chicken shit heel anyway. He's a cockroach. He's gonna do whatever he can to survive. Lesnar comes in the building. He goes over to Lesnar, he said. It remains to be seen what the Triple H-led creative team has planned for the Vision's future in WWE. Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman align. A major WWE superstar could align with the dastardly Paul Heyman, as per Hall of Famer Bully Ray. The veteran believes WWE is teasing a future alliance between the American Nightmare and Heyman. Heyman currently manages the Vision on WWE's main roster, with the group consisting of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The stable recently kicked Seth Rollins out and is doing quite well on the Raw brand. On the latest edition of Busted Open After Dark, WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray talked in detail about the recently released WrestleMania 42 advert, featuring Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Triple H. As per Ray, WWE might have teased a future Rhodes-Heyman alliance in the video. Is this the time for Cody to join the rest of those Heyman guys? Cody's got a very interesting look on his face. I've seen that look on Roman's face. Hard, stoic. I've seen that look on Brock's face. I'm just a bad motherfucker. I've seen that look on Punk's face. I'm the biggest rebel of the group. I don't know. I can look at a piece of art and see one thing, and you look at a piece of art and see another. Lots of Heyman guys. Lots of Heyman representation. And Cody. I always said that when the day comes, when Cody's heel day comes, that Paul Heyman is the guy to get in Cody's ear. Heyman has had a history of betraying his clients in WWE. Back in late 2002, he turned on his client Brock Lesnar and aligned with Big Show at Survivor Series, helping him win the WWE Championship. He turned on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41 to align with Seth Rollins, whom he betrayed mere months later. Looking at Heyman's history of betraying his allies, it's quite possible Rhodes will never shake hands with the veteran.